Welcome to the Tuttle and Klein Show.
Oh, we're doing a little kiss this morning, huh?
You know, you always win.
It's like Paul Stanley's right here with us.
Us together. Oh, shoot. You're there. I apologize.
I didn't know why we were getting so lucky this morning with a little kiss rendition of Cold Gin, but so happy we were lucky. We hit the lottery.
I have not heard that song in forever and a day. I have no idea why that just popped in my head.
Isn't it weird how that happens?
Yeah, so it's completely. I mean, it's just out of nowhere. It's like what triggered, like what's going on in the brain? What kind of electronic stuff, triggered that right there? Said, hey, sing Cold Gin by Kiss.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I haven't heard that song probably 10 years.
It's a good song. You should go back and revisit the album. It's very good.
Dude, I love Kiss. I do.
I know you do.
Time.
Was that your first concert?
Yeah, my first concert. Your first concert too, right?
No, I never saw Kiss.
Fuck you. We can't be friends anymore.
No, I know. I never saw Kiss. That was the first piece of recorded music I ever bought. I bought the 45 of Beth, and for the longest time, they were my favorite band. Never saw them. My first concert was Def Leppard, Pyromania.
Beth, I hear you calling, and I can't come home right. My first girlfriend was Steph.
Oh, no way. You didn't do it, did you?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Steph, I hear you calling. She was Stephanie. Yeah. So, yeah.
How long did that last?
And then, we were on and off for a while. I met her like just after I turned 18 at Ball State.
Okay.
Halloween, after I turned 18, Halloween night. And it was funny, after we broke up, she got a new boyfriend. And they were at the Chug. That was the bar.
That was the hangout.
We were all at the Chug, and she's dancing with her boyfriend, and I'm over on the side or whatever. And Beth comes on, and her new boyfriend starts to like try to dance with her, and she goes, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that one." So even though she's with a new guy, she still felt the Timmy tingles.
The mark was made.
Yeah, Steph. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's so funny. Kev, I did something very, very stupid that I want to share with you real quick before we get on to our business.
Please tell me.
On Friday, I was trading, okay?
Yes, that's what you do.
And it was a choppy day, and I got caught in the chop a little bit, and I was down some money. And then finally, after 3 hours of grinding, I got into a profit.
Okay.
The problem was my profit for the day was $666. And Kev, my rule is this: is if I go down, to a certain level, my goal then is to take one more trade just to try to get back to break even or a slight profit.
Okay.
Well, I caught a nice runner, and it covered everything. The next thing I know, I'm up $666.
Yes, which, if you're not familiar, is what they call the mark of the devil, the number of the beast.
Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666.
So, of course, I could not leave my P&L at 666. I couldn't do it.
Oh, you couldn't, huh?
Yeah, so I took another trade.
And?
Lost.
Oh, man.
So I actually went down and did not have a profitable day on Friday because I could not handle 666.
Wow.
Dang it.
What's the lesson then?
The lesson is the devil has nothing to do with the markets. I actually talked to another friend about this, and he said, what you did right there is you empowered him.
Oh, yeah, you did, actually.
And you took the dark side, and he fucked you for that.
Uh-huh.
And he did, man. So instead of, I lost like $400 instead of being up $666.
See, here's I don't prescribe to that either. The 666, it doesn't bother me at all. And here's one reason why I don't put a lot of stock in numbers. I know there's a lot of numerologists out there. What's Taylor Swift's favorite number?
13.
How much is Taylor Swift worth this day?
A shit ton of money.
There you go. 13 ain't unlucky.
My dad liked 13 too because he was born on the 13th.
There you go.
So that was never a thing for me. And yeah, Kev, I got to admit, I was always a fan of Dan Marino, and he was number 13.
Right. Yeah.
Kev, being a Packer fan and all that, that's all well and good. And of course, I admire Tom Brady, what he accomplished over a very long period of time. He is the lifetime achievement GOAT, without a doubt. Joe Montana was Joe Cool, phenomenal. Love watching him play. Probably the most talented quarterback in history is Patrick Mahomes. But the greatest pure passer to ever live was Dan Marino.
Oh, geez. If you go back and look at his numbers, there was nobody. He was unlike anything else.
Not only that, though, but watch the tape, too, if you ever get a chance to watch a Dan Marino highlights video, and there's a lot of them out there now, is the windows, like how accurate he was.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the quick release, where he would make the read very, very quickly, and he would get that ball out of there, which like nobody had ever seen, total gunslinger. But his accuracy was just unbelievable, man. I mean, that dude could hit like a floating dime 40 yards away.
I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been amazing.
The problem with that trick is we had trouble with the floating dime.
Exactly.
But yeah, and Dallas loves that because Dallas is a Miami Dolphin fan.
Oh yeah.
So he loves that. I think that about Dan Marino.
That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, was he not? I mean, Kev, I know you're a Denver Broncos fan, but you have to admit too, and it's tough. I know you have an Elway crush.
Yeah. No, but I'm never team or player centric enough that I can't recognize greatness on another team. I'm not like that.
The only reason I bring that up is because they were part of that same 83 draft, Marino and Elway.
And Jim Kelly.
And I got to say, nothing against Jim Kelly and John Elway. Phenomenal careers, Hall of Famers, as they deserve, but they're not as good a pure passer as Dan Marino. There's never been somebody like him.
Pure passer. Yeah.
Right?
I would agree with that. I don't know of anybody that's more of a pure passer. I mean, he ushered in a new era.
And it hurts me a little bit that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves because he doesn't have a ring.
No ring.
Yeah. And that's just, he can't do anything about the teammates. He can't do anything about the franchise, the program, and it just wasn't there for him.
Well, I don't know if you watched the women's Olympic gold medal soccer game, but there was a lady that played for Brazil named Marta, Marta. She is universally recognized as the greatest of all time female soccer player. She was in 3 World Cup finals, never won. She was in 3 Olympic finals, never won. She's the greatest women's soccer player, never won a World Cup, never won an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
Gold medal.
You can't do anything about everybody else, though.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. But nobody takes away the GOAT title from her. So why do you got to take it away from Marino?
And you can tell, because it took Michael 7 years. And you could tell that he was really bothered. Michael Jordan was really bothered by that. Well, you're just a circus act. You're just a scorer. You're just a high flyer and dunker, and he hated that. Because he knew he had to get a ring.
Oh, yeah. And that's why he cried so hard when he won that first championship.
Exactly. He's on the ground in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not even talk about how, disgusting that is to be rolling around.
In Chicago, of all places.
In a Chicago locker room on the floor. That's just horrific. I mean, so that tells you how important that was to him. He didn't even care about all the millions and millions of germ and bacteria floating around and shit like that.
Prior DNA, all that kind of stuff.
All that shit, man. So that's how important it is.
Yep, I agree.
I remember thinking that too when we were young, because this is 1991.
Yeah.
And we were young when we watched this, and I was like, ooh, that's gross. Michael, get off the ground, man.
And Tim was not nearly as germophobic as I was. So
yeah,
imagine my skin crawling.
Oh my God. Yeah, Kev, I would say that you probably went outside and threw up.
I bathed immediately.
Michael Jordan was never the same to you after that moment.
No, we'd have been knocking elbows or fist bumping for
Oh
sure.
yeah, if you would have met him or something like that, he'd have been like, "Hey Kevin, let's play 1-on-1." He'd be like, "I can't guard you."
Yeah, no,
You have a layer. You have a layer of nasty. I know you haven't completely washed off from 1991. God dang it.
Let me wear my hazmat suit, Mike.
hey, since we started talking about Olympics, let's go into it a little bit.
Okay. Now in the rearview mirror, Paris did a great job.
Paris did a good job. You know, there's some controversy about the opening ceremonies with that whole Last Supper thing, but you know, that's all for artist interpretation. Seth Curry, dude, come on, man.
Oh, Steph is he's the greatest pure shooter, I think, in basketball. Wouldn't you agree?
I have never seen what I mean, you know, Michael against Utah got hot that one game, and I'll never forget that. But Seth Curry is just next level, off balance, like completely. You know, he threw stuff up that most coaches would be like, "What the fuck are you shooting that for?"
Well, the last three he hit in the finals against France, there were two guys on him, and it just like he was throwing it up.
Just throwing it up. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like seriously, 99.9% of all coaches, if a basketball player shot shots like that, would be sitting on the put him on the bench. Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, you're not even going to run the offense. You're going to do that shit. Fuck you, dude. Get on the bench. But Seth Curry, he's one of those guys when he gets the vibe and just give him the ball.
His dad's name is Del, right?
Mm-hmm. Del Curry. You don't remember Del Curry?
I do, but I'm just kind of wondering how come you consider why you're calling him Seth. He's got a brother name. You said Seth. It's Steph, right?
What did I say?
Seth.
Why do I keep saying that?
I don't know, but he's got a brother named Seth, right?
Why do I keep saying Seth Curry? Oh, no. Kev, I had a childhood friend named Seth Curry.
Did you really?
Yes. Played on another little league team.
Did he shoot the way that Steph does?
No, I just played baseball against him.
Oh, he played baseball. Okay.
That's so funny that I kept saying that. Yeah. Wow. See, that's another thing. What's triggering in my brain to make me remember, you know, when I was 11 years old, somebody I played baseball against.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to go back to like, wow, that's that cold gin thing again.
Cold gin. Yeah, that's so weird. How many times did I say Seth Curry?
3.
That's so funny. Oh, wow.
But we're all good.
Yeah. So sorry about that, Steph Curry. I didn't mean and Kev, you know, I got to throw some props out too. It was just amazing to watch her because she was one of the dominant players on the team. And I watched her since she was 15 years old, play at Houston Skyline. Avery Skinner for the U.S. women's volleyball team. They won a silver medal, and she was just unbelievable. And it's going to be a really neat thing for Houstonians because, you know, it's looking like in 2028, it's Avery and her sister Maddie, who Audrey played volleyball with at Houston Skyline, will be sisters on the U.S. Olympic team.
Oh, that'll be a massive story.
That'll be a massive story, and those two will kick some ass together. And will be amazing.
Yeah, Avery wore jersey number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct. Okay. Did you see her in action at all? A little bit?
I did. Oh, I did. Yeah.
And Kev, she's not that bad. I mean, she's 6'1", and I know you think, 6'1", that's pretty big, but not for those trees.
No.
And she just flies, man, and she just hits so hard. And I when I watch her, I just remember back, in 2014, I was taking 13-year-old Audrey to her first Houston Skyline practice, and it was right on the same court as 15s. Which or 16s, whichever one Avery was playing on. And we were just both like, holy shit. And I remember Audrey looking at me and goes, Dad, I'm not that good. And I said, I don't know many that are.
Yeah.
And Audrey said, I remember Audrey was like 13, and Audrey said, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be like her. And you know what I said? I do too.
Right.
So salute to her. That was great. The U.S. women's volleyball, just like the U.S. women's soccer team. And Kev, this is more obscure. I don't know how much you get into the Greco-Roman wrestling.
Great.
The Lopez guy from Cuba. 5 consecutive gold medals in the same event. Are you kidding me? 2008, 12, 16, 20, and 24. I can't even fathom. Can you fathom that?
No, well, not only
this one, he's 42 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the point number one. Point number two, 5 Olympics in a row. You've got to make the team 5 times.
Yeah, and Cuba only sends 1 per weight division.
Yeah.
And there were some younger dudes that were really good that didn't get to go to the Olympics from Cuba.
They'll have their time because he's retiring now. He set the shoes on the mat. It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and young Tony Montana who, hey, mine, it's my turn, okay? What the fuck, mine? I gotta sit home here in Havana, Cuba, and watch this shit again, mine?
I can't even win a gold medal.
I can't.
Do it.
This guy's so fucking good. I can't even win a gold medal, mine. I want my opportunity because it's been knocking at the door and I've been trying to answer this. No, it does ding dong ditch against me, mine. I'm sorry, that was so fucking lame.
That's funny though. That's great. That's great.
Kev.
Yeah. Are we still on the Olympics?
Yeah, I got it. Well, go ahead. What do you have?
Breakdancing is the worst. That was so.
Kev, I was going to bring that up to you. Is the Olympic? I think that the U.S. Olympic Committee or whatever, the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, is playing a joke. They are playing a joke on the world, saying, "Let's just do this. Come on." Just for shits and giggles, man. We're going to cut softball and baseball.
Yep.
And we're going to put in break dancing.
Yeah, they couldn't break dancing. It's a skill. It's not a sport. It's a skill. Unless you're an Australian mom of 36 years of age. Did you see her?
Yeah.
She was awesome. Awesomely bad. Okay, so breakdancing will not be in the 2028. What is replacing breakdancing in America in 2028? Another sport that doesn't need to be in there. Flag football.
Why?
Exactly. Some things don't need to evolve. The Olympics are one of them. Okay? The Olympics, I did some investigating before I spout my mouth about this, but the Olympics were originally set up in BC as a religion ceremony, and sports was a part of the process, okay? The original things were running, javelin, wrestling, boxing, and pancration, which pancration is still in existence today. It's over in Japan. It's pancrase. The rules have changed a little bit. Back in the early days of BC, the Olympics, the only thing you couldn't do was eye gouge and bite. And the guy who always won gold medals or the championship was known as fingertips because his first move was to break the fingertips of his opponents.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, we need to bring that shit back. We're doing break dancing?
Yeah.
Instead of that?
Instead of that.
Boy, are we a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, I know. So, but that was the original concept, okay? And then it became a way for the world to show humanity competing against each other in good sportsmanship, which I'm totally down with that, but some of the sports don't need to be there.
Kev, can you imagine you worked your whole life to, you went to broadcasting school and you get your shot. Finally, your dream is to cover the Olympics. And they tell you, hey, Bob, you're doing breakdancing. I'd be like, no. I want to do basketball or at least track and field. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, Bob, you got to work your way up the ladder. We're going to start you off breakdancing.
Yeah, if your sport name starts with B-boy, you're not an athlete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Bob, in between, you can go do fast walking to cover that. What the hell is that? Why is that, Kev? That's been there since we were little kids. Why is that still there? That's the most awkward looking shit ever. It's weird looking, man. Waves of people like doing a penguin waddle, man. It's weird, man. It's not right. I mean, just look at this shit, man. That is awkward. That's weird. And people shouldn't be doing that. And even worse, people should not be watching it.
It is a strange method of transportation.
It just looks, Kev, can you imagine? Okay. We finally decide, they finally decide to give us an official visit, aliens from another planet. They go and land on the street. And they see fucking a fast walk race. They're just like, oh my God, we were going to give these guys the technology and the secrets and keys of the universe. Let's just blow this fucking planet up. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. Look what they're doing. Hey, Beeple Bop, look at this.
Yeah, they would be frightened.
That shit is just too weird, man. It's just too weird. So yeah,
they do fly. They're very fast. They're walking.
Come on, man. There's got to be a couple guys in the middle of the pack. They're just like, all right, I'm going to break out to just a quick run here.
Yeah, and can you imagine having to watch that closely? That you have to. He was running.
Yeah, well, for that step right there, that was a run. It's just too weird. It's too weird. It needs to stop. That and breakdancing, get that shit out of there.
Yeah, breakdancing.
Baseball and softball, bring it back, please. Is LA going to have baseball and softball?
I don't know, but I know that we're saying baseball and softball. I've said it previously, but I've changed my stance on this.
Why?
I don't think team sports need to be in the Olympics.
So get rid of all team sports?
Well, look at it. Why do you need soccer? You already have the World Cup. Nations playing against nations. Okay.
I thought the same thing when I was watching golf. I was like, these guys have major championships. What is this? I mean, this is,
Yeah.
What's the big deal with this?
We have the Ryder Cup. We have the President's Cup. We don't need that. We don't need golf in there. They had the World Baseball Championships before.
Yeah. Well, they could figure something out.
They could. Easily.
But all team sports gone, huh? I kind of like that concept.
I don't know. It just gets back to the original concept.
Well,
who's the best athlete?
Would you still have the relays in swimming and track and field? Because that's a team competition.
It is a team competition in the respect that, yes, there's 4 people on the team, but it's still an individual effort to get, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Each athlete has their own leg. So yeah, I would still keep that.
You would keep that. All right.
And I would love to go back to the all amateur status.
I like that idea too, Kev. I was thinking about that. I was thinking, it's really, really hard to root for people who have $300 million liquid.
Yeah.
In that type of way. Now, in their own leagues, cool. That's great. Mm-hmm. But, in this something that's supposed to be, different and held different. I like the all amateur too. I really do.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I mean, I've never talked about the dream team. We're 44 years removed from the Miracle on Ice, and we still talk about it like it happened yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Kevin, I also love the comparisons they like to do. The 92 dream team versus this one, who would win? Obviously, if they played 10 times, the one modern one would win because, Larry Bird was old at the time and they were all getting older. And Magic Johnson, was a year removed from HIV. So he hadn't been playing for a year. And then they had Christian Laettner, they had a college guy.
Yeah.
So obviously, man for man, the modern team, the 2024 team would kick 1992's ass unless somebody pissed off Michael Jordan before the game.
Yeah, right.
Am I right?
Yeah. He would make up scenarios just to aggravate himself in his mind.
Oh, he would imagine things.
Yeah.
Just to light that fire. Like he would imagine that LeBron sneered at him or something like that, or said something under his breath, even though LeBron wouldn't be stupid enough to do that.
Yeah. No, nobody would be stupid enough to do that.
And then that would be it. I mean, Michael would put up 67 points and 92 would win by 92.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the times that people are running now, just the athleticism, the training and all that stuff has changed. It's so different. You can't compare. You couldn't play those two teams against each other.
And you can see that too on track and field, Kev.
Oh, yeah.
These are I mean, particularly the women sprinters.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit, that is fast.
Dude, did you see the the semifinal of Sydney McLaughlin's Liveroni's 400-meter hurdle semifinal?
I think I did, yes.
Where they did the side-by-side of women running without the hurdles and she running with the hurdles?
Yes.
With the hurdles against the people who weren't running with hurdles, she still would have finished 5th.
That's pretty crazy, dude.
Oh my God.
And I forgot who our hurdle guy is.
Grant Holloway?
Yeah, but the
one Benjamin.
The one who Benjamin, the one who anchored the 4x400.
Rye Benjamin.
Yeah. It looked like the hurdles weren't even there. That he was just doing his same stride.
Yeah. It's so pretty, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. And not taking away from any of the hurdlers that we watched when we were kids back in 84, 88 and shit like that. But these are different. It's a noticeably, by the naked eye, different look in terms of speed, athleticism, just their muscle tone.
Strength. Yes.
Just their muscle tone. I don't want to take anything away from FloJo because I think she still holds records.
Probably.
FloJo. But, she was a little bit Pillsbury Doughboy in comparison to what we see with the modern sprinter, female sprinter.
Gabby Douglas, Sha'Carri Richardson, not an ounce of flab on them.
They're cut, man. Yeah. That is just, they live day to day to be fast because they know the rule. If you're not first, you're last.
There it is. Isn't that a Ricky Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
If you're not first, you're last. And one of them had that T-shirt. I forget which one of them wore that T-shirt. If you're not first, you're last.
You would have been a great hurdler.
Yeah. Kev, I was too dedicated to baseball. The track and field coach always tried to get me out there to do long jump and high jump because I had the leap.
Yeah.
I had like a 36, 37-inch vertical. I used to dunk and everything like that. So, but yeah, I never really delved into it. But seeing, when Jonas was in 8th grade, he just came out of nowhere. He's got his dad's ups. Mm-hmm. And he medaled out of nowhere with maybe doing it once in a meet before, the triple jump and the long jump. And he's going against all the brothers. This little white boy, Jonas, against all the brothers. And all the brothers are like, damn.
Yeah.
And the hurdles would have been cool.
Well, yeah, I say that because number one, you ran fast. Number two, you had ups. But number three, you love numbers. And all that sport is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, jump.
The same as swimming too. That's the same as swimming. They count their strokes.
Do they really?
Absolutely. Everything's a count.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
They have it down to a count. Yeah. They used to teach Audrey and Jonas that too, when they did the medley, when they had to do the backstroke as part of the medley, is once you see the flags, there's a certain number that your number. And then you could just reach.
Wow.
Yep.
Love learning stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a stroke count. Everything is a stroke count when you get to that level. And you can sometimes see the breaststrokers when they come out of the water, they pop out of the water, they're counting.
Can you imagine how many strokes Katie Ledecky would have to count in the 3,000 or whatever race she swims?
7,954. 7,000.
Lose count. Damn.
God, I can't. That nobody should have to swim that far.
I know.
I mean, people that were trying to escape the Germans in the English Channel didn't swim that fucking far.
Cubans don't swim that far.
Yeah, even Cubans are like, "What the fuck is this?" Hey, mine, that's a long way, mine. I said Miami, not Charleston. That is a long distance race for sure.
Yes, indeed, brother. Yes, indeed.
Hey, Kev, I got to tell you a story. This weekend, one of our neighborhood moms decided, and I don't know why she did this. She decided to throw her kid's second birthday party at the community pool here.
Kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Are you going to put a 2-year-old pool in a a 2-year-old in a community pool?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, no, they had the little floaties and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what she was thinking because I guess she imagined she was going to have the pool to herself.
Huh.
Because it was a very hot day here in Houston and it's on the weekend, that place packs up. And there's a lot of partying going on and, a lot of 20 somethings bashing and raging hard and having a good time and everything like that. And she seemed extremely annoyed by that. And like it was ruining everything. And, finally I had to walk over to her.
You did?
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
I basically told her, I said, look, ma'am, it's only a 2-year-old. Okay. Your child is not going to remember shit about what happened today. Because remember, our first conscious memory is 3.5 years old. Remember that?
Yep. You've always said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, your kid will have no idea. So there's no need for the first and second birthday or anything for the first couple, 3 years to go out of your way to do anything extraordinary. All right. Especially when you have, things like Photoshop and AI where you can tell them and show them what a great time that they had at Disneyland and you didn't even fucking go. And she chuckled.
Uh-huh.
And she chuckled. I said, this is not the age where you have to worry about making memories. I mean, that's too expensive, exhausting. Produce memories.
There you go.
And yeah, that did it. That got her. She was laughing at that. She's like, "You're right. I never even thought of that."
Very cool.
Yeah, the kid will have no clue. The kid will have no idea what happened when they're 2 years old.
Yeah, and plus now she's not pissed at the neighbors. Neighbors aren't pissed at her. Everything's good. There's copaceticness in the community.
I think that some of the 20-somethings noticed that she was getting aggravated, and then that's the last thing you want to do is show that you're getting aggravated, because then they put the volume on the music a little higher and
pile on.
They got a little more annoying, and I was like, oh yeah, she walked right into that shit right there.
Yep.
So
poor lady.
Yeah, I know. That's a funny thing. As a parent, you have a visualization of what it's going to be and how it's going to be. And when it doesn't turn out to be that, a lot of people can't handle that.
I think we always go in with at least I do. I go in with expectations, but I go in with low expectations.
Exactly. I got the bar low. Like me, Kev. All right, we're going to have a 2-year-old birthday party at the local pool. A winning day is my kid doesn't fucking drown.
Exactly.
Because that's always been the big thing when you have parties with kids that young and parties just like at the pool is the parents lose their focus and attention. And next thing you know, the kid's bobbing up and down in the water.
That's right. I've seen it happen.
I've saved a couple,
Uh-huh.
Being a lifeguard and then just being an attentive father, watching the neighbor's kid, and the mom's not paying attention, me having to jump in the pool fully clothed to save the kid.
That was one of the ways that he got around mingling with the neighbors. Yeah, I'm watching your kid for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta focus.
Because obviously you and that Chablis you're sucking down is much more important than your kid's fucking safety.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, I remember this one specifically. It was the neighbor in Greatwood, man. I mean, she's just chirping away with Kathy and the kid. And I'm inside. I'm watching, and I'm like, God dang it! And that kid didn't know what he was doing.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly the kid goes down, and I'm like, okay, pop up, kid. Mom, are you looking? Oh shit! So I had to run outside and jump in fully clothed. Because I can't, Kev, we're a morning radio team, I can't have kid drowns in Tuttle's pool.
Absolutely.
I can't have that as a headline.
Hell no. No, not at all.
And she's like, oh, thank you. And
yeah.
I'm like,
refill?
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, do you have more of this? So great, Blanca. Yeah. So yeah. And Kev, you know the story about when I was lifeguarding when I was 18 years old,
I don't know.
when I saved the life of the kid and he ended up being a software engineer in Silicon Valley, multi millionaire.
Yeah, you told me about that one. Yeah.
And he never, ever even bought me a steak dinner or anything like that. I mean, I saved his fucking life.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. And he ends up being like completely loaded by the age of like 26, 27 years old, and I get nothing out of it.
Yeah, you should have at least gotten 50%. I mean, without you, he's not here.
I wouldn't say 50, but hey, I want to wet my beak a little bit.
49.
All right, Kev, let's do this. Our fun new little feature, Be Honest.
Be honest. Be honest.
Kevin,
Yes.
have you ever said I love you to someone and they didn't say it back to you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you probably lead the league.
I do probably lead the league, but I ended up eventually marrying her.
You said I love you to Trish and she didn't say it back?
You want to know her reply?
What was her reply?
Nah, I don't. I don't want a serious relationship.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
Were you just like, ah?
No, I wasn't. I was like, okay, well, eventually you will.
That's so funny.
I didn't say it out loud. It was in my head. I know why she said it. Okay. I was a rebound for her.
I see.
She was previously engaged, walked in on him, having sex with somebody else.
That's not good.
No. And so she disillusioned or disavowed or, dismantled the engagement, however you want to put that. And then here I come along like 2 months later and, we just became friends. And then I decided that I wanted to tell her I love her and she wasn't ready for it yet.
Oh, so you were just friends and like nothing physical or romantic had happened at all or anything like that?
Not a thing, Tim. Not a thing.
Yeah, that was a risky move. That was a risky I love you. That was a risky one.
Well, I mean, but I knew. I mean, even not her in-laws, now they're in-laws, but her aunts and uncles, the very first day they met me, were having bets on how quickly we would be engaged.
Really?
Everybody else could see it but her.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
we're not physical. We're just not physical people.
no, you don't. No.
So that was never an issue, it's always just been a connection with the soul, with the heart, spiritually. The other stuff happens, but that was never a priority.
Okay. All right. That's good. How long after, she shot you down and left you hanging on the I love you, did you guys become a thing?
Let's see, probably 5 months.
Oh, so you had to incubate that shit for another 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really only happened because she got fired from the radio station we were working at. And she swears it was because they thought we were having a relationship. And so she was just like, well, if they think we are, we might as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give them something to talk about. Bonnie Raitt, right?
That's right.
That's your song.
So we showed up at the Christmas party all decked to the nines and holding each other's hands and arms around each other.
Ah, I love it.
That was her.
Or the boss is like, we knew this. We knew it.
Yes, they were. Yep.
And did you still try to explain it? Hey, we were just friends, but you guys gave us the idea.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. Kev, believe it or not, that's happened to me once too.
I do not believe it because I didn't think you would ever say that stuff first.
I said, I love you to a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she just like left me hanging.
No.
Like nothing, not a word. Then I finally just told her, hey, look, I'm a CIA agent undercover. And after tonight, you will never, ever see me again, ever. As a matter of fact, I thought you were an agent too, and I love you was the secret code, and you didn't say it. So, obviously I know you're not part of the operation. And wait. You really thought that I loved you? Oh, no. You're silly. We barely even know each other. We just met tonight at this bar.
Beautiful. Could have said it was the alcohol talking, but no, CIA is a much better story.
Oh yeah, Kev, I spun that one. She was freaking gorgeous too, man. Blue eyes and dark hair, exotic, just gorgeous. And we were vibing, and I was drunk as shit. And one of my buddies, one of my roommates was with me. He's like, man, she was macking on your shit so hard, dude. What were you doing? Saying I love you. You freaked her out.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I can't remember it. I couldn't remember it.
It just happened. Just came out.
It was one of our other buddies was having a birthday night. It was his 21st birthday, so we were all taking shots all freaking night. I had no concept of reality whatsoever. Matter of fact, I didn't even hear this story until like a couple of weeks later when the pictures, you remember, this is back for those of you who are young, you had to wait for the pictures to develop first.
Yep.
And then I'm looking through, I'm like, God dang, who is this? She's hot. And that's when my roommate told me the story. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. He goes, but we were all cracking up at the CIA shit, man.
Oh, I'd have been cracking up too.
Oh, the way you went from like complete bald rejection to that CIA stuff, we were freaking rolling. She loved it too. She thought it was hilarious. And I was like, well, if she thought it was hilarious, I still got a shot, right? Did anybody get any digits? Did I get it? Nobody got anything.
Oh, man. Go back to the bar. She'll probably be there next week, right?
Kev, we went there. This happened in like February. So there were still 3 months left of the year. And we went there every weekend. It was at Butterworth's every Saturday night just to see if she was there again.
Oh, man.
Because I was like, man, I'll this is the one right here, bro.
Dang.
And look at that. I mean, look at her. Look how hot she is. She was perfect.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to, she had just blazing blue eyes and just, I mean, Kev, it's like a taller Selma Hayek with blazing blue eyes.
Unbelievable.
Oh, dude, it hurts so bad. It hurt so bad. It hurt. There was a point I couldn't even look at that fucking picture anymore. I couldn't move, but the CIA story was cool, right?
Oh, that's awesome. Way to spin.
Yeah.
Way to spin.
Oh yeah, Timmy's not going to be rejected. Not going to let you reject you. What about you? You got to be honest.
Yeah, I do. Be honest. If The Purge was legal, could you kill somebody? So The Purge is a movie, and killing somebody is legal on a particular night of the year.
Kev, yeah, I'm somebody with a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
I have sympathy, so I could never be a serial killer.
Right.
But I would have to say yes.
Really?
Kev, evil people are running rampant in our world today.
Okay.
And these evil people used to be dealt with harshly. But for some reason, they seem to just get away with it these days. You know what I'm saying?
I'm following you.
Yeah, so I would probably be a part of a much needed culling.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, if they announce a purge and they give you some prep time, few weeks, few months, I would put together a game plan to take out as many evil people as I possibly could.
Oh, okay. All right.
For the good of man and mankind.
Okay. All right. I
probably would. That just the evil people, but I just couldn't randomly just kill people.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There is a distinction there. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, but Kev, there's a lot of pedophiles and there's a lot of evil fuckers who have hurt children.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of evil fuckers that have preyed upon good people.
Yes, there are.
And destroyed them and brought harm to them. And they have it coming. And I would just be, I would see myself that night as, the Reaper.
The Avenger.
Just, hey, man, you had this coming, dude. And most of them probably, when I'm ready to, deliver the dagger, they would say, yeah, I had this coming.
Like the Bill Burr comedy bit that he does.
I swear to God, anytime I ever got punched in the face, I was always pissed. But at some point during the drive home, I'd always be thinking like, I was kind of being a dick back there,
Exactly. I had it coming. I was being a dick.
Yeah.
Kev, I've thought about it. I've been in several fights in my life and I deserved every one of them. I would have fought me too, if you really think about it. But what about you? Could you do it? Could you do the purge?
I don't think so. Not
even evil people.
No, I don't have it in me. I just don't have it in me. You know, it's like, and what got me thinking about this was when I was running the other day and there was a stray dog, and I that's a big fear of mine when I'm running. And I was like, I know myself, if that dog were to come and try and attack me, I would kneel down and try and befriend it. I'll probably get my face ripped off.
No. You got to defend yourself against a rabid dog, though, man.
I know. And equating a dog's life to a human's life, I get the.
You've got. I mean, it's just self-preservation on your part. You would have to. You'd be like, hey, man, I don't want to do this, but one swift kick will end it.
Okay.
You know, just one. You don't have to waylay and fucking destroy. I mean, just one swift kick, and suddenly they're not as rabid and don't want anything to do with you.
Okay. Well,
you know,
I hope it never has to come to that. The dog was totally cool. It didn't want anything to do with me, but that got me thinking.
Nobody wants to kick a dog. Well, you know, no reasonable person.
Evil people want to kick dogs.
Yeah, and they'll get it theirs during the purge. But you got to defend yourself. You can't let, just because you love dogs, you can't let one end you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's all it is one. You don't have to beat on them. You don't have to beat the shit out of them. Or just one swift kick. Most animals that are on the attack, you know, that obviously aren't a bear or a wolf or a lion or some shit like that. One swift kick ends it all.
Uh-huh.
And they'll do that little whimper noise and then scamper away.
Obviously, Tuttle's never seen me kick.
Yeah, I remember. I actually remember one time that I remember this woman screaming that her dog had gotten on a leash. We were in a park, and the dog had gotten on her dog, who obviously wasn't trained, and aggressive dog, broke away from her leash and was coming at us. And she was screaming, protect yourself. I was like, oh, wow. And, you know, I'm there with my girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I got just one little swift kick. And that dog immediately backed off and ran towards his owner.
Wow.
And I hated to do it because I remember that whimper. I don't like that whimper.
Uh-huh. No, me either.
I don't like that whimper, but yeah, I had to do what I had to do.
You know, if the owner of the dog first reaction is to say, protect yourself, that dog shouldn't be in public.
Well, she and she came over and talked to us after she got him and secured him on the leash.
Uh-huh.
You know, and they brought him over to us, and which I was okay with. And the funny thing is, you know, because I asserted my alphaness.
Yes.
That dog laid down in front of me and was showing me the belly.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, you know, I alphaed the shit out of that dog.
Yeah.
And she was saying that, you know, she's training him. He had a rough upbringing, a great dog, but you know, all the dog knows is violence.
Oh.
And you know, she apologized and everything like that.
Dog's name was Mike Tyson.
Exactly. Oh man, I'm gonna go bite the shit out of this fucker.
And then you Buster Douglas him.
Yeah, exactly. I hated doing it because Kev, there's still times. I mean, this happened like 25 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. 30 years ago. Oh, shit. Yeah. And I can still sometimes hear that whimper and I don't like it.
No, I'm right with you.
But I had to do it, man. I had to. I mean, plus, you know, my girlfriend thought I was sexy as fuck that I did that.
Yeah. I mean, you could have told her you loved her and she wouldn't have run away.
No CIA story on that one.
Nope.
Hey, Kev, we've talked about this before. You know, first I want to give you a little bit of an update in regards to my detachment from my phone.
Yeah, we just talked about that a couple weeks ago. How's it going?
Yeah, my phone usage, because every Sunday morning at about 9 a.m. for some reason I get an alert of how much I used the phone in the past week.
Mhm.
And this Sunday it was a record low amount.
Nice.
And I'm using the DND, the do not disturb mode. I mean, I'm off the grid a lot now. And basically my phone is transitioning from a time wasting toy into just a tool when I absolutely positively need it.
That's fantastic. Feels
Which
good, doesn't it?
Oh, Kev, I am so at peace with that, man.
Uh-huh.
I really am.
Everybody laughed at me when I left 93Q that I was getting rid of my phone. No, you'll never be able to do it. It's pretty damn easy, bro.
Yeah, no, I can't get rid of it. I got kids.
Yeah, no, I had to eventually get one. But yeah, no, I don't spend a lot of time on it.
But it's really, really helped me in several areas. One of the areas is I remembered yet another dream last week.
Sweet.
But I'm not sure I like it though.
Oh, well, let's.
Because obviously I got some weird shit floating around in my brain.
Okay.
You want to analyze this one?
Well, I want to hear it. I would love to take a crack at my amateur analyzation. Yes.
I had a dream that I was deciding to turn to a life of crime, be a criminal. But tragically, I decided my first caper was to rob a gun store. and then the dream's over, and I woke up in the sweat.
Okay.
Like some redneck. What the fuck you doing? And then before he could even fire, I woke up. That's weird. Is that weird?
That is kind of weird.
I don't know where that came from.
It's really weird that you would rob a gun store while somebody is there working the gun store. Normally, when gun stores get robbed, they get robbed when they're closed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a smart move. And
No.
and I always thought if I was going to become a criminal, I would be a master criminal, a really smart one. And this was just dumb as dumb can be. And I could just see like my conscious self arguing with my dream self, going, "What are you doing, dude? Do a bank job."
I can't. I mean, gun is power.
Yeah.
So
I want power. I'm seeking power at all costs.
Perhaps.
But I'm not though. I'm not.
I know.
I actually had, because you brought this idea up, and one of the people that listens to the podcast reached out to me about it when you said, "Hey, Tuttle, maybe you should run for office."
Well, yeah, you should.
Because you have, I could probably win a congressional seat or something like that based on
Name recognition
and stuff like that. And he reached out and he said, "Hey, look, you would be an excellent candidate. And we could definitely put support behind you, and maybe even have you be the party nominee and all that stuff." And I'm just like, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to. So
no, that's definitely something you have to want to do. I mean, if you're going into it half-hearted, ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see. It's not an effective way for change. It really isn't.
Okay.
Because they all get corrupted too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, and it just seems like I put my kids through some shit.
Oh yeah, they would definitely be fair play.
Yeah, my kids would they would, Kev, because I'm such a mouth. I mean, and I don't hold back. I would not be polite because I'm so vigorous and, staunch in my beliefs that they would come after me.
You'd be quick enough to spin it.
Well, yeah,
CIA story.
I I could just see them fucking with my kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that you have to ask yourself if you're ever going to do something like that is, what are they going to find to exploit? Because that's what they're going to do. That's the first thing they do. They start looking for things to exploit. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be, why aren't they good for running the country? Why am I better for running the country? Or whatever office you're going for. But no, it's what trash can we dig up first?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, we tried to buy this Tuttle guy off. money. He's not going for it. So dig up everything you can on him. And
Terrible.
anything. That's how our system is now. Either blackmail or bribery, or they'll kill you.
I was getting ready to say, or they kill you.
Yeah. It's one of three options if you don't play ball. So I'd probably be a good congressman or something like that, but it doesn't appeal to me, the whole process.
But also, I think that you could reach across the aisle. So maybe you could be the example to break down the party lines and just do what's best for the country.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like specifically black and white any side.
Mm-hmm.
I weave in and out of by topic, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, no, we have last Tuesday we had our little primary thing here in Missouri, and you have to go in and declare a party. So you've got a blanket vote one party, and it's like I don't operate that way.
No, I like to pick and choose. Box of chocolates.
Yeah,
there's some people on the right side that I can't stand, and there's some people on the left side that have some pretty good ideas.
Yeah, I research every candidate that is appearing on my ballot. I research them. Which one speaks to me the most?
Yeah,
I don't even give a shit about party.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, whoever's the biggest protector of the Constitution, you're my guy or gal. Basically.
Uh-huh.
If you're too regulatory, too control freak, I don't want you in there. If you're more freedom, you're my guy or gal.
There you go.
That's basically where I am on it. But that's just me. So, Kev.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some rabbit holes.
Rabbit hole of the week.
What did you find yourself crawling into that you couldn't get out of and wasted an inordinate amount of time last week?
Did a lot of research on the Olympic sprinters. For all countries. Because I wanted to see, like, for me, the Netherlands Femke Bol.
Yes,
she kicked ass in that relay, but then came third in her best race. She came in third. And I was like, I need to know her backstory. And so
I was surprised by that too. I was like, with that burst, I thought she was going to win that race.
Yeah, I did too.
The burst we saw in the relay, I was like, wow, she exploded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what was the difference in what she was doing right there and, in the finishing third race?
Mm-hmm. And she was bawling her eyes out to her parents after she came in third. But I absolutely hate when announcers make excuses for athletes. I can't stand it. And the excuse was, well, she had run that relay 2 days before, and then she had to go to the semifinal qualification, so her legs might have been tired.
What?
Oh my God, dude! They said that about they said that about male sprinters too. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't.
What am I missing there?
What?
It's not that far of a race.
Here's the thing, Tim. I'm going to tell you right now what I told my mother-in-law and my wife. Yesterday proved that argument holds zero water. The same woman that won the 5,000 meter in this Olympics won the 10,000 meter and yesterday won the marathon.
Yes.
All in a span of 9 days.
Yes.
The lady ran 26 miles, 6 miles, and 3 miles, and she won all three. Don't tell me that a 400-meter race takes it out of you. Bullshit. No.
You should be able to run the same speed 2 hours later.
Yes, I agree.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
And you're a runner, so you know that shit. You know what it takes to get back into your peak form.
Yeah. And if you have a week you have 3 days to recover from a 200, you can do it.
Anybody can do it, man.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they make excuses for the professional athletes too.
Yeah, I don't know why they feel they have to do that.
I don't either.
It's okay to say, hey, I'm surprised that person didn't perform as well as they should have.
Yeah.
What's wrong with saying that? Because they want to be friends.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
because they don't want things to be awkward in the Olympic Village at the buffet table.
So true. So true.
That's why I always like the announcers that would just go out on a limb a little bit and just, say the right thing.
Barkley. Charles is amazing.
We said he piggybacked on the Warriors to win his first two championships. But if you go back and look at his career as the best player and being a leader that all goes with that, he's been an abject failure.
Exactly. Barkley he'll shoot it straight.
He doesn't give a crap.
Damn, I'm going to miss him, man. That whole NBA show goes bye-bye after this year.
Yeah, I know. Did you see the new Steph Curry sitcom, Mr. Throwback?
No.
NBA on TNT is going bye-bye. So what did Steph Curry do in the pilot episode? Brings all four of them on.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Are they talking about maybe they'll move into the network too? I mean, Ernie probably never would.
They might take it streaming. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Well, if Amazon was smart, Bezos has unlimited money.
Uh-huh.
He could just be like, we just want you to get the same thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it costs. I think they each make like 20, 25 million a year.
It's pocket change for him.
That's tip money for Bezos.
Absolutely. Which won't be taxed anymore.
Exactly.
I'm going to become a server.
Exactly.
At the only swankiest restaurants. So yeah, I did that one. And then the other one that I did was a band that I went and saw in 1998, the Jenna Torturers. I was watching a lot of their video footage, like concert footage.
The Jenna Torturers.
Yeah. So the lead singer, she used to be a nurse, but she ended up going into the world of fetishism. And so they had either a PG show, an R show, or an X-rated show. And I'd been to the R show and the X-rated show. And basically, the difference is that in the R show, they just simulate stuff. In the X-rated show, they actually do the bondage stuff and genital piercing.
Wow!
On stage. So yeah. So I was just looking at the old footage of them.
You're always an interesting fellow. A dichotomy of innocent aw shucks Opie Cunningham to darkness.
Yeah.
Extreme darkness.
So, yeah.
I was watching videos and I couldn't stop myself of how things are made in factories.
That's fascinating stuff.
I couldn't stop. It's so cool.
Uh-huh.
Like, how they make like ice cream sandwiches and, just the automation, genius automation involved with like everything, making pencils and, making bread and everything I couldn't stop watching it.
Well, two reasons that I think you couldn't stop watching it. Number one, that was one of the early careers that you had.
That's correct.
You worked on products or machines like that. You worked with machines like that. And then number two, it's just fascinating, man. It just boggles the mind.
It is so trippy how these engineers now are that precision.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is like precision perfect. I mean, just look at some of this stuff that you're seeing right here, right now, and the speed that it's being done in. It's amazing, Kev.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, our manufacturing process is just beyond cool.
It all stems from the cotton gin, as you have previously mentioned in a prior episode.
Without Eli Whitney, would any of us be comfortable at all?
Nope.
That's the big question, Kev. So, yeah, I can't wait. I'll finish up here. I'll trade some more, and then I'll work out. And then afterwards, I'm going to do some more factory.
What's the most impressive thing?
Kev, the ice cream is really cool. The way they make the coated ice cream pops and the ice cream sandwiches. I mean, I rewound it like 3 or 4 times. I was just like, oh my God.
So the Klondike bar is an amazing eat and an amazing manufacturing process?
I had no idea they did that. Or how they like painted these printed dishes and stuff like it. It's just crazy.
Wow.
That like, when I was doing some design engineering myself, I had pretty creative ideas. These guys are just off the charts. Like You want to do what? And you want to make how many an hour? And your budget is what? Oh, okay. All right. And they just go with that. And suddenly they have these unbelievable pneumatic and hydraulic and, machines that are just so precision and perfectly timed, making thousands and thousands of these things every single minute.
I'm wondering if 3D printing will ever get to be that efficient. If it does, holy cow, man.
Kev, there's a 3D printer now that's making a house.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's pouring the concrete perfectly. You saw that.
I did.
I mean, that's eventually what it's all going to be is the 3D printer will just make your house.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, we're all going to be replaced.
Ray Kurzweil, who is a futurist, probably the most well-known futurist, said that we are, what are we in now? We're in 2024. We are 9 to 12 years away from being zero-sum people, meaning that the machines and humans will be one and the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jonas was alluding to that, a while back with me because, Jonas is my son, Jonas. He's a AI computer guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, they'll be our equals soon.
It's nuts. But I remember, I don't know, maybe it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that some futurists said that we will eventually all be robots. We'll all be made of manufactured parts.
Yeah. Our spirits and souls will be thrown into a robot and we will be immortal.
Yeah. That wasn't long ago.
Which, is that something we really want? Because there's a lot of assholes out there. You don't want on this planet forever.
Now, that's where the purge comes in. We'll make you the leader of it.
The robot purge. That's funny. I'm already seeing a movie right now,
Uh-huh.
All right. That's funny. I'm visualizing a movie. All right, Kev, let's finish up. Let's do the top three. We got to do it this week because it's a time thing.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Klein's top three.
Since it's back to school time, top three movies about school. Top three movies about school.
Animal House.
That's one of mine.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen Animal House, you got to see it.
Oh, it's so classic. It's unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
That's one of mine, too.
The Triple Lindy. Are you kidding? Gold medal every time.
Hey, Shakespeare on me. In the bookstore. God.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield was such a legend. I loved Rodney Dangerfield.
Then I am going to go, my third one will be, it's a toss-up, and I can't. It's either going to be Dead Poet Society or Good Will Hunting.
Good. I like that.
So let me just go with Dead Poet Society.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, really strong.
That's another one I got to make sure.
Although, if I could amend, there's a new one that just came out maybe earlier this year that Paul Giamatti was nominated for an Academy Award for. And the name of it is The Holdovers. Have you seen it?
No.
You're gonna fucking love it, dude. It's so funny. It's so good.
The Holdovers. When did they release that?
Well, Giamatti was nominated for an Academy Award for it, which was earlier this year. And the lady who is the female supporting actress, she won the Academy Award for it. So it had to be late last year, early this year, maybe. But it's about a boarding school. And 5 kids don't get to go home for the holiday. And they are called the Holdovers.
Love it.
Yeah. Giamatti's amazing.
It kind of sounds like my third one that hasn't been mentioned, The Breakfast Club.
Oh, how did I forget that?
Kev, being a fellow Generation Xer, I cannot believe you left The Breakfast Club off the list. But it's hard. It's hard. Remember, I came into this knowing what the top three is going to be. Kevin had no idea. He came in blind. We always surprise each other with the top three. So
yeah, I do have list remorse there.
Yeah, and there may be a couple others. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Holy shit. My aunt's in that. How can I not remember that?
And this is Kevin's aunt right here, Phoebe Cates, and getting out of the pool. And we should probably stop it right there. And Kevin, another one real quick. Heathers.
See, I've never seen that. So,
Christian Slater and
Winona Ryder.
It's such a dark comedy. It's so funny.
Oh, I should see it then.
You will love it. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. Put that on your list. I'll do Holdovers. You do Heathers.
Okay. Well, and while we're on Christian Slater, pump up the volume. That's a great one.
Do you remember when we had him on the show?
Slater? Yeah.
Yeah. I freaking love that interview.
He's great.
I wonder what happened to him. I always thought that he would be big time. I always thought that he would be one of those actors that, continued to throw out stuff, because I always thought he was good. Or was Christian Slater just a cheap version of Jack Nicholson?
No. Slater's got a new project coming out. You haven't heard about it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, he plays Dexter's dad in the prequel.
Shut the up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
They were not going to make the series. They had it all ready to go. They couldn't find a dad to play a young Dexter. Okay. And Slater took a look at the script and he said, I'm in. They're like, greenlit.
Love it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because I always liked him. I mean, Pump Up the Volume obviously was awesome.
Legend of Billie Jean.
True Romance.
Oh, my God. That's one of my all-time favorite scenes in cinema.
Which one?
Walken and Hopper. Are you kidding?
Dennis Hopper. Oh, my God. Brilliant.
Dude, that's an amazing scene.
But when you have like a brilliant actor doing like monologue and just killing it, Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross and Donald Sutherland and JFK, it's really neat to watch when you have two of them going head to head in an incredible character dialogue scene. I mean, you're mesmerized by that exchange.
Absolutely.
And when we first watched that, Kev, we were very young men, because that came out a while back, and I just remember going, God, that is really good right there.
Yeah, yep,
really good. And that's all Tarantino's words.
Yeah,
he wrote that shit.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was brilliant stuff. So yeah, it was good. I love it. Christian Slater and the prequel to Dexter, that ought to be really, really good. All right, Kevin Kline, I've got to wrap up. I've got to trade and make a little bit of money.
There you go. Stop at 666.
So stupid. Is that stupid? And then my friend saying, well, you let the devil win then.
He's right.
You should have just closed down your computer and said, you devil, I made $666. I don't care.
Or call the late Charlie Daniels. He knows how to take care of him.
Exactly. Or, if I would have donated some of that money to the church, I'd have been good.
There you go.
That was another thing he said. All right. Love doing these podcasts. This has been a blast, Kevin Kline.
Yeah, it has. It just goes by so fast, But
it does.
It's why we look forward to Mondays.
So make sure y'all, to keep this thing going, go ahead and like us, follow us, download, subscribe, give us a rating, please, so we can grow this thing. We got merch on the Tuttle and Kline Facebook. And Kev, what do you have coming up this week on the Fuzzy Mike podcast?
Talk with the lead singer of Rorschach Test. It's a band that I saw with Jenna Tortures in 1998. They kind of fell off the map for about 10 to 20 years because James Baker was going through addiction counseling. And something I didn't know. Not only did he do that, he went and got his bachelor's degree and is now a behavioral health therapist. And he's talking about suicide prevention and all that kind of stuff. But we also talk about some of the crazy crap that he did on tour as an addict.
I love the name of the band, too, the Rorschach Test.
Rorschach.
Yeah. That's the ink blots.
Yeah, exactly. And he discusses why they called it Rorschach Test. And it's exactly why you would think, because the music is open for your interpretation.
I love that.
Yeah. So, there's no set visual image that you're supposed to get from a Rorschach test. It's a look inside your brain as to what you see on the ink blot. Kevin,
if I remember correctly, you said about this band that they have never made a single bad song.
I don't believe they have. No.
That's how I feel about, Bill Murray. He has never been in a bad movie.
Uh-huh. That's how you feel about Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. I mean, all their songs have, I mean, every single one of their songs has some kind of a meaning and a way that it is really, really beautiful art.
Now, there's going to be some people who listen to Rorschach Test and say, I don't think they've ever made a good song. I mean, it's not for everybody.
And there's some people that'll watch the movie The Mosquito Coast and decide they want to punch me. Later, dude.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Klein Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Klein on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Klein Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.